Okay, this is Navy Old Salt Gamer. I'm back on Mimas, whatever. I'm just going to say Mimas, whatever. Um, let's talk a little bit before I do anything with the base. As you see, I got my atmospheric setup. I had this gas sitting in my, if you watched my last episode, I had my gas sitting in here for quite a while. And it cooled off a little bit. Now this is a vacuum, but um, you notice I'm not using any insulated pipes. Nothing cools off in a vacuum anymore. They changed that. I'm relatively sure this has been sitting here at 144 since I did it. Now, when I first started releasing this was at, it's down to 3, because I'm still filtering everything but pollutants. This was up around 25 megapascals. So let's talk a little bit about the freezing in pipes. I see a lot of problems with that. Now you notice I stopped filtering my pollutants at 5 megapascals in my tanks. And I doubled up the tanks because I have a use for this, which I'll get to in a later episode. While it was coming in, because the furnace was at 25 megapascals, while it was in this pipe, it began to freeze immediately and liquefy and freeze. And I was kind of lucky nothing exploded, but it got up to about 75% stress on the pipes and then started coming back down because I was lowering the pressure. So let's look at this real quick. Why do you have to worry about mainly pollutants first? I'm pretty sure. I'll check the other ones. But let's look at pollutants. Here's the scale for pollutants. Now I notice I'm at 144 Celsius. I was around 150 Celsius, 152. But as this condensated back into a gas, it actually cooled down 10 Celsius. So that's something else you got to consider. If I look at my oxygen, well, they're all cooler now. But that's because everything in the pipe is cooling, and see, as it condensed, all that pollutant condensed in here, it cooled everything down. Now this is only a problem because this has been sitting here. The next time I fire this up, this will all heat back up and I won't have to worry too much about it. But again, so why did I stop at 5 millipascals at 144 Celsius? So let's look at this chart. There's a lot of descriptions of this chart, but it's not the easiest thing to understand. So let's go down here and scroll until I get to 144 Celsius. Well, it's at it's 144 now. Notice where I am to that line right above my arrow, where it starts to go way up. This is gas, I believe. No, this is gas. I'm sorry. This is all gas. So at 144 Celsius, at 5 megapascals, I'm still gas. This is liquid. This is frozen. Don't let me mislead you. As I said, it's kind of confusing. Gas? Yeah, gas, because of the temperature. See, if the temperature goes way up, it's going to stay gas longer. Liquid, frozen. Liquid and frozen in regular pipes, both very bad. So, I stopped pressurizing at 5 megapascals because I'm safe at 110. It's going to stay, or 100. I went around 100, but 5 megapascals roughly. It's hard to get exact. About 100, we'll say 105 Celsius. So I'm safe to keep that a gas at 105 degrees at 5 megapascals. Now, when I started, I was up, and it doesn't even go this high here. I was up, let's try it this way. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, it doesn't even go that way in pressure because it just says infinity. Anyway, I was up here in pressure. I was off the chart in pressure. I was at 25 megapascals. It doesn't even go that high here. So at 25, I hope I'm explaining this right. If somebody's has better knowledge than me, this is the way I understand it. So at 100 and, we'll say 140, notice above 5,300, it turns to liquid. So, and again, it's very hard to get this exact. So any pressure above 5611 at 141, it turns to liquid. Liquid in gas pipes causes massive problems. So that is why, remember, liquid up here, frozen, anything down here is gas, and you can see why, because the temperature is higher over here. So even no matter what the pressure, it does go down. See, but it's not going to turn to liquid at these higher temperatures, and probably ever. I'm sure this line keeps going up, through the roof here, but it's not something you're going to have to be concerned about. But again, at 140, if I kept pressure lines in this above, say if I went to 6 megapascals, it would start to liquefy. I could test that, but I'd rather not. So that is why you get a lot of people with liquids in their pipes, and the stress level, that number on the top right there, like I said, when I started venting this, I had 75% stress. It was all red, and I'm in a vacuum, so I couldn't hear it, but I'm sure they were moaning and groaning like crazy. Now, why aren't I too worried? Excuse me. Why aren't I too worried about the other gases? Well, the other gases aren't that big of a threat, and I could show you why. So let's go up here to oxygen. So I'm at 140. Let's pull up oxygen. Oxygen gas. That's why, maybe. There we go. O2. That's what I should have typed. Notice the gas section of O2 is much bigger. That, right off the charts, by looking at this chart, you know that oxygen is a pretty safe gas. You have to get down to minus 220-ish, 217-ish, somewhere in there, before it even freezes. That's pretty darn cold. Now, you can run into that on Europa, possibly, but I doubt it, because it's only minus 142 there. It would almost, anywhere in the game, it would be very hard to get oxygen to turn to ice. So what about liquid? If you're anything below 117 or 116, you're not going to have to worry about oxygen turning into a liquid. Now again, 142 on Europa, guess what? You can have a problem with oxygen on Europa above a pressure of 1420. If you keep it below below 1420, if you keep it above it, it's going to stay in gas. So it's a little much safer of an oxygen, or a gas. The only places you really have to worry about oxygen is probably Europa, and because it's pretty safe until you get to minus 117. I don't know where else besides Europa oxygen would be a problem. Gas, liquid, ice. So liquid, I'm trying to figure out the pressure here. So the higher the pressure, and the pressure should keep reading here. It shouldn't say infinity. I don't know why it does that. But the higher the pressure is, the safer you are. And what's a low on me? My water's low, everything's low. That's because I have been out here working. So, I mean, you could look at each gas. Let's look up carbon real quick. Let's see, carbon, that's liquid. There we go. So it's not as big an area over here, but it still looks pretty safe. You'd have to get to, well, yeah, I would say minus 60-ish to worry about it turning to ice. And there's a very small range for liquid. So carbon's a safe gas too, but if you're going to use it in certain things, it might be harder to use. And like using oxygen in the current pressure exchange devices might be kind of hard. That's why everybody likes pollutant. This pollutant has a low freezing point, if that makes sense to you. A low cooling and evaporation point. That's a better word, evaporation point. CO2 does not. Nitrogen, and I don't want to get too deep in this. I just want to try and explain this because it is confusing. And there's other people out there that can explain it. I don't want nitrous oxide. They explain it better than me. But again, here looks like a pretty safe thing to work with because, you know, outside, because it's got a large gas area, and it doesn't freeze. Gotta go down a little further until a very low temperature, and doesn't turn to a liquid. It could liquefy on Europa, so it's something you got to watch for because you have minus 140s in Europa. So this is something you would have to watch for a little bit in Europa if you let it get too cold. But then again, you could just increase the pressure and you'd be fine. If you got below these pressures that you see on the slider bar there, I'm sorry, yeah, below those pressures, it's confusing. But this is how you use the chart. And again, it makes more sense when you look at pollutants and what just happened to me. So, you have to have, I mean, all the people that are AC experts and stuff understand this stuff a lot better than I do. But you can see there's a wide range of temperatures where pollutants will turn to a liquid. Anything from minus 95 at a pressure of, you know, roughly 19 up to a temperature of 150. That's a pretty high Celsius temperature for something to turn to a liquid. So anytime you want to keep it gas, you want to keep the pressure lower than the pressure on the bar. That's why, see, I'm down at 140 and 5 megapascals, right in that area. So, yeah, it goes down quite a bit. But you can see I'm down pretty low, and I'm in the safe zone, basically. But that is the best I can do with explaining these things. Kind of confusing, but it does make some sense once you start seeing water in your pipes. Look at your pressures, look at your temperatures, and figure out exactly what you got to do, because it's no fun to pop pipes. One of the advantages on Mimas here is it's a complete vacuum, as you can see. So the temperatures, although they are getting cooler, I'm going to have to watch that. It is going down. I may have to switch to insulated stuff. And that might just be, I don't understand why it's going down. There's not supposed to be any temperature changes in a vacuum anymore.
Hydration critical.
Let me take care of that. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. So, you know, I may just upgrade these it's not changing in the tanks, but it is changing. It's not changing on the upside. It's changing on the downside. It's got to have something to do with depressurizing that furnace, and I'm not sure exactly why that would do anything, but so I'll have to watch, because at minus 88 or 88 degrees things might change with the temperatures. Now I am talking about a lot lower of a pressure on this side, so the chances of things freezing at a lower pressure in most cases decrease. So that's why I don't have any liquid in here at all, because I'm working with a lower pressure. Now in here I still have, I didn't get much oxygen out of my expended fuel, so I've got quite a bit of CO2. I have to set these up to turn off at the appropriate pressures, which is my next thing. I didn't get any volatiles. All the volatiles are burned off, and I stopped filtering that. So anyway, let's take a quick look inside, and I haven't gotten a whole lot of work done. It's very early in the morning here yet. I'm still getting used to jumping on this planet. Oh, let me turn my coal generator off here, because I got a full battery. And I'm going to set that up to go automated also. But inside here, and I'm going to cancel the pressurization. I did expand a little bit. I haven't cleaned it up yet. I should be able to breathe. I can. But this is my second room. I think this might be the room I put my equipment in, like manufacturing stuff. Not sure yet. It's a nice little room. This will be my entrance room, which I haven't decided how I'm going to use these rooms yet. But I did leave room for expansion. I have 2 manual hatches that go out into the environment. I haven't expanded that yet. I want to make these a little better looking. I'm going to take my time and dress things up. But that's the inside. Expanded a little bit. Haven't done any base beautification, I guess is the word for it. But that's where I'm at. Before next episode, I'm going to just start with 1 and see how it works. I'm going to put a deep miner here and start sorting things. I'm going to have my coal automatically feed in here after it's stacked, so I don't have to worry about manually controlling that at all. Anything else I can think of? I'm going to keep expanding my base. I got my little lighthouse still going up. That does help, actually. I can see it further than I can see the rest of the base, so not much, but a little. And it doesn't seem to use a whole lot of power. Going to start crushing some ice for volatiles, get a little more oxygen, then set my atmospherics to go automatically into the environment. I'll probably run a couple other pipes. I did use back here, I don't think you could see it from here, maybe from the top. I didn't show you that either. This upper floor is a drop ceiling where I'm going to put all my maintenance, pipes and wires and stuff, but you can't see that from out here. But below here is all, the upper level is all walls that I can just pass things through. So that'll be fun to work with. And it's still a work in progress, as you can see. Lots of iron mining. I'm kind of anxious to get, I don't mind mining as much here as I did on Venus. I literally, it seems like forever since I changed my oxygen tank, since I'm not on Venus. I literally can run around here for hours of game time without having to worry about my oxygen tank. It's just a different world. Okay, I think that'll be it for today. Got my atmospherics all started, fired up. Talked a little bit about pipes. I hope that helped, and I hope it wasn't just more confusing. Follow the charts. The important thing to keep in mind is gas, liquid, ice. You don't want liquid or ice in any of your pipes, your gas pipes, let's put it that way. You can have liquid in a liquid pipe. I'm not sure about ice. I would think that would still be bad. Ice in any pipe is probably a bad thing. But you can have liquid in a liquid pipe, and you can put gas in a liquid pipe, but you can't put liquid in a gas pipe. And follow the temperature charts in the graphs. A little confusing. If your temperature is here, your pressure needs to be below that pressure to keep it a gas. If you go above that pressure, it becomes liquid. Hopefully that helps. Alright, this is Navy Old Salt Gamer. If you like these videos, please subscribe, hit the like button. I try and keep this at a simpler level. A lot of people are very technical, and I consider myself somewhat smart, but I'm not as technical as a lot of the other people are when it comes to this is how you do it, and then they explain it and you're sitting there like, huh? Hopefully I'm not the only one that does that. But when I watch the videos about the pressure change or the phase change devices, I probably have my jaw open and drool dripping out, and because I'm like, huh? So I will be experimenting with that on this one. Now what? Hunger. So hopefully I can explain these at a more non-expert, easier way to understand it. And that's what my goal is for this video and future videos. And we'll see how that works. So let me know what you think in the comments, if I'm doing an okay job. If I totally confused you with explaining the chart or explaining the gases, let me know, and I can redo this and try again. But I think I did okay. I mean, the chart seems simple enough. It really isn't. Like I said, the important thing is gas, liquid, ice, and then just watch the temperatures, and if it's above, the line, the problem with the chart in my book is you can do temperature scale. It won't let you do gas scale, because it's just going to tell you at 4,000 psi at 52 degrees, it's going to turn to liquid. It doesn't matter what's up here. You're going to have liquid. But you can go down and do the chart, but you can't go, and it's changing because I'm not going perfectly straight up, but you know what I mean. Gas, liquid, ice. Alright, have a good day. Again, Navy Old Salt Gamer. If you like these videos, please subscribe and like, and hopefully this helped.